I know, I'm here awfully early for an 11:30 a.m. flight, but that just goes to show you how excited I am about trying the all-new JetBlue Mint Suites for the first time. Yes, I'm also bored out of my mind, but I am ready. Oh, and thanks as always to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Hey everyone, it's Scott again, and I'm starting this JetBlue Mint Suites review here in the all-new West Gates at the Tom Bradley International Terminal at LAX. Why? Because JetBlue doesn't offer lounge access with their business class product. That's why. And because this terminal is super quiet and empty, and it's awesome. Yes, it is a bit of a walk from the JetBlue gates over in Terminal 5, but if you've got a couple hours to kill, this beats a swanky lounge any day of the week. Without the food and drinks, of course. Anyway, until JetBlue comes up with a lounge solution for Mint customers, this is my recommended way of relaxing before a flight out of LAX. Unless you don't like walking. If so, you're likely to think that this is the stupidest idea ever. I'm only halfway through the walk back to Terminal 5, and I desperately need a break, so I'm going to use this time to talk about Surfshark, the award-winning VPN service that I've been using exclusively since 2019. I use it because it's easy, incredibly secure, and I like the fact that once I set it up, it runs totally in the background doing its thing without me even noticing. In other words, it's insanely fast, and it doesn't slow down any of my devices at all. Surfshark allows you to browse the internet privately so no one can see or steal your data. It will allow you to change your IP address to prevent tracking from one website or app to the next. It'll even block ads and malware if you ask it to do so, and it's great for traveling because it'll protect you from sketchy Wi-Fi networks that you might be hopping on and off of during your trip. Sorry, LAX, after all these years, I still don't trust your free Wi-Fi. Anyway, once you try it, I'm convinced that you'll like it and start depending on it as much as I do. The easiest way to do that is to use the link in the description below, and if you use the promo code SCOTT during the sign-up process, Surfshark is going to give you 83% off the cost of a normal subscription, plus an extra 3 months thrown in for free. It's darn near being an extended free trial at that point, and I can't recommend this highly enough. And now, got some more walking to do. Yep, still walking. Almost there. There we go. Welcome to Terminal 5. This is the home of JetBlue at LAX, and without lounge access, it's a fairly chaotic way to begin a plush business class experience to New York. This was actually the Delta Airlines terminal until fairly recently, and I don't know, it just feels really weird to be in here for a JetBlue flight. I'm uncomfortable with change, okay? Gate 55A is where this flight is departing from today, and it's crammed so far back into a corner that I don't think I've ever noticed it before. This is new territory for me. Speaking of new experiences, this right here is my ride to New York. It's a brand new A321neo, looking great under the morning sun, and... Okay, is it time to go yet? Don't mind me. I'm just feeling really impatient and excited to try out the all-new JetBlue Mint Suites for the very first time. And I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet anything that boarding queues move slower relative to how excited I'm feeling. I mean, how come the boarding process of every single Spirit Airlines flight that I've ever taken felt like greased lightning? This is brutal. This is it. It's happening. Just a few more steps to go, and there you have it. The all-new JetBlue Mint Suite in all of its magnificent neon blue glory. This is seat 7A, by the way, which looks like a fantastic choice considering that row 8 has misaligned windows. I guess I dodged a bullet on that one. Anyway, this looks and feels fantastic, but I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan of the inward-facing seats, and this did seem a bit awkward to me right off the bat. More on that in a moment, because there's really nothing else to complain about, and I don't want to sound like I'm not enjoying this, because I am, immensely. It looks like there's lots of plugs and ports everywhere, and I love how private this is. And check this out, an environmentally friendly amenity kit. The only purpose that I have for these things is to document the contents for my blog and YouTube channel, but I will admit that it's fun to see the expression on the faces of the economy class passengers walking by as I'm digging through it. Anyway, so far so good. I'm happy to report that the inward-facing seats don't seem to be a problem. Yet. Noise-canceling headphones were passed out just as I was wrapping up getting the last of my initial seat footage, and these look great. Okay, so you know how all the airlines claim that cleaning and disinfecting aircraft between flights is a top priority? They're lying to you. The crumbs I found were nasty. Not only that, there was a dirty sock wedged between my seat and the sidewall. Clean and disinfected, my dirty seat or not, I'm still not complaining. I'm comfortable, and I can't see anyone else from where I'm sitting. These are really private seats. Oh, and look at that. I found another neat little cubbyhole beneath the video screen. Perfect for losing my most valuable possessions. And yes, menus were handed out to all passengers while still at the gate, and the options look great, but I'm gonna wait to show you all that until after takeoff. Now, it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Without thinking about that dirty sock, of course. As I mentioned earlier, this is a brand new A321neo, with the NEO being an abbreviation for New Engine Option. I'm nowhere near smart enough to be able to tell you all the performance benefits of these new engines, but all you really need to know is that they thick. Here on the inside, not much has changed, from what I can tell anyway. But on paper, this is a completely different airplane than the one that preceded it. I was never a big fan of the A321 before this update, and now with the fat new engines, and the sound they make, I'm liking these things a lot more. Speaking of which, make sure you head on over to my other YouTube channel after this video is over to watch the full, unedited takeoff footage. I recommend watching it at the loudest possible volume. Okay, I think my complaints about the inward-facing seats are becoming justified. I think I tweaked my neck trying to twist around and get that takeoff footage. I'm not complaining though. The all-new JetBlue Mint cabin is beautiful, and there's loads of neat little design details to check out. I'll show you all of those little details later, but for now, I need to get my video entertainment situation sorted before they start serving lunch. Just a slight adjustment of the video screen here, and voila! These new video screens are fantastic. There are also a lot more movie choices than I remember from my last JetBlue Mint experience, which is cool, but I'm still not a fan of the live TV thing and all the commercial breaks that come with it. And yes, you can control the screen with this handy little remote here. I wonder if the person who left the dirty sock touched this remote before or after peeling it off their foot. Aha! Now I know what those crumbs were that I found earlier. So now we're getting to the part where JetBlue Mint really shines. The food. And the drinks. I went with the mint condition, which was just as delicious as it was appropriately minty. The snacks were so-so, and I did my best not to leave any crumbs behind. But this... holy moly! I haven't seen food on an airplane like this since my Starlux Airlines experience right before the pandemic ground everything to a halt. This is ridiculous, in a good way, and I'm convinced more than ever that there's no other airline in the US that can come even close to what JetBlue is doing these days. Wow, where do I even begin? This totally cancels out my gripes about crumbs, dirty socks, and inward-facing seats. This is restaurant-quality food, and, dare I say it, there was probably too much of it. Did I need to eat this much? No. Did I eat all of it? Yes. Do I care about that sock anymore? Hell no. With the food portion of this review now over, the next item on my list is the overview of the loo. You're welcome. And since the seats are so private, and nobody can see me, I don't feel like a total dork recording my walk back to my seat. I can only dream of being as confident as my fellow aviation YouTubers Simon and Neil. I've been doing this for years, and I still don't have the courage to do entertaining live-action commentary like they do. Anyway, back to the seats. I've got several things to say about them as I test out the lie-flat functionality here. First of all, wow, they are narrow. That doesn't mean that they're uncomfortable, but I'm just saying that there's very little wiggle room in a reclined position, that's all. Second, I really love how private they are. I felt completely shut off to the world in here, which, for an introverted guy like me, was perfect. I'm just gonna lay here for a few minutes. I'm not gonna sleep, because I've got a review to get footage for, and that sock is dangerously close to my face. Whoa. Apparently, my disgust of the sock was beat out by the comfort of the seat because, well, we're on the descent into JFK now. Yep, my 2-minute demonstration of the lie-flat seat somehow turned into an hour and a half of blacked-out sleep. If that's not a testament to how comfortable these seats are, I don't know what is. And would you look at that? Snacks to celebrate my return to consciousness. At least that's what it seemed like, since they handed them to me as I was still in the process of raising my seat back to an upright position. Okay, so, what's the final verdict of the JetBlue Mint Suites? It's basically the best business class seat of any US airline. Hands down, end of story, there's nothing else to say. This was a fantastic experience. Yes, the seats were a bit narrow, and I'm still not a fan of how they face inwards away from the windows, but my God, I can see JetBlue being the #1 airline in the US within 10 to 15 years if they keep setting the bar like this. And on that bold statement, welcome to the John F. Kennedy International Airport. The local time is 7:30-ish. And FYI, I'm still feeling fat and happy from the in-flight meal nearly 4 hours ago. And like I always do at this point in my videos, shoutouts to some of the SANspotter patrons is what's next. Aaron Slater, Naomi Slivko, Riley Wingo, David Kelly, and everyone else, thanks so much for being part of the team. If I could somehow figure out how to repay you with trays full of JetBlue Mint food, I totally would. Anyway, thanks for watching all the way through to the end, and if you'll excuse me, I need to sulk off and figure out how to lower my expectations for my next business class flight. It just doesn't get any better than this, and I'm afraid it's all downhill from here.